talked about my favorite movie from every year I've been alive, and in that video I talked about the best movie from every year in the 2000s. So let's go back in time a little bit to the 90s. I want to do the 80s, but I haven't seen any movie from 1986 except for The American Tale, and that's pretty stupid. So I'm going to wait until I see a few more movies in that category before I do that. But we have 90s movies, and some of these actually did surprise me that they're my favorite movies. Maybe it's because I haven't seen a lot, but hey, let's go ahead and jump right into 1990. I mean, it was really no contest. I don't know, I'm losing my mind. It was really no contest. Back to the Future Part 3 is just kind of the perfect conclusion to this. I don't know what it is. It's just, it takes what 2 did, like, almost perfectly. It just kind of concludes it in a really good way, because it's, in a way, 3 is kind of like the opposite of 2, in the way that it is, yes, they do go back in time, as opposed to forward in time in the second movie. But it just kind of feels like a lot happened in the second movie. This one is wrapping everything up. It finishes what 2 started. And I totally get what people think. Like, people say this is better than 2. But, I mean, I think I just kind of grew up with 2 and watched it a lot more and just thought it was better. But this movie is still amazing. Best movie of 1990. No contest at all. So, yeah. I don't have an individual copy of it, but I'm so glad I have the 30th anniversary children. Let's go on to 1991. This one surprised me. Yeah, me too. I genuinely did not think of any other movie in 1991 that was better than Beauty and the Beast. It's like an 8 out of 10 movie. How did this happen? But it's also so beautiful in the same way. Like, all the villain is good. It's just all so good. I don't understand it. It has the boring DVD, but that doesn't matter. It's a great movie. Like, I'd probably give it a rewatch, and I don't know what to say, but this is a good one. Probably, maybe I'll rank all of them at the end of the video. We'll see where this one holds up. Upon rewatch, I thought this movie was just more beautiful. It's astounding how good this movie is. And I really, I had to comprehend, this is Disney in their prime, guys. Aladdin is amazing. I don't even understand it. But Aladdin is just, Disney Renaissance for real. They were cooking in the Renaissance era. There's a few stinkers like Pocahontas, and I haven't seen Rescuers Down Under, but I'm sure that's a stinker. And I'm gonna say this, I didn't really like Hunchback of Notre Dame. I just found it kind of boring, but this one's good. This is my favorite Renaissance film. I don't know. I think it might even deserve a 10 out of 10, like a 5-star. But I still think it's a 9 out of 10. But maybe after we watch it a few times, it'll just get better. But Aladdin is really, really dang good. Let's move on to 1993, and I've already talked about this one, so you know exactly which film this is. Wow, Spielberg cookies? Wow, Spielberg cooking in the 90s? Who knew? Jurassic Park is so good. Even in 1993, he was cooking. Schindler's List came out this year. I haven't seen it, but I've heard it's amazing. And Saving Private Ryan came out in the same decade, so who is texting me? I already talked about this movie. It's just so good. Everyone knows about Jurassic Park. You don't have to see it to know it's just so good. The plot, so, I don't even know what to say anymore. This is Spielberg's greatest movie of all time, and I have not seen Always. But this is it. This is it, man. This is his magnum opus. There we go. I used big word. And to think, I almost gave this spot to The Mask, but then I scrolled down. Ace Ventura: Pet Detective is probably the funniest movie I've ever seen. It's just so good. It's so good, and I can't. I don't even know what it is. I talked about this the other day with my dad. This is not a really good story, but it makes up for it with its comedy. I roll on the floor every time I laugh at this. This might be the funniest Jim Carrey movie. It's one of the funniest movies of all time. I don't even know. It's Ace Ventura. This started his career, man. This is one that really got him popular. This is amazing. Let's move on to, what is it, 1995 now? Oh, I already talked about this one, too. I thought about grabbing my VHS tape, but mustn't disturb the antiques. Toy Story's just good. Like, Pixar really started off with a bang. And they just kept continuing being on the bang. From 1995 to 2011, they just didn't stop. Their movies were phenomenal. And in the 2010s, they had some less than stellar movies. But then you always find a Inside Out, Finding Dory. You always find an Inside Out and Finding Dory. But it all leads back to this movie. Amazing. And even the disc is fire. Moving on to 96. We got a movie I just recently watched. And the new one came out the other day. I think this video comes out in like September. So it was like 2 months ago for you guys. But Twister. It was really hard to pick. I think it was either Twister or... What was the other one? Hang on, let me find the other one. It was either Twister or... Twister or Space Jam. It was that close, but I found Twister to be a little bit stronger, a little bit better. Just, like, Space Jam is, like, a good enough movie, but this... No, this is the movie. This is a... well-made movie. It's got the director, the producers of Jurassic Park. Who produced Jurassic Park? Oh, Kathleen Kennedy. And Michael Crichton. Did Mike? I don't even know. But Twister is pretty good. I just highly suggest you watch it. It's pretty good. And also the Luke Combs song based off the new one is phenomenal. Next up, in 97, I don't have a DVD for this one, but it's Liar Liar. And I will not say a word about this movie until the review comes out. Hopefully that's my next video, but I don't know. Let me know if I'm right. Okay, coming up next is another Jim Carrey movie. We got The Truman Show. And this is also... I get why people like this movie so much. I really do. But, I mean, it's funny still. It's still pretty funny. I just don't think it's, like, 10 out of 10 material. I think it's still a really, really good movie, but... Like, I just needed more comedy. It's much more serious. This kind of gives off a more Eternal Sunshine, like, little appeal here. Because it's like, it feels more calm. I've never seen Eternal Sunshine, but I just, like, I've heard it's, like, not the most funny movie. It's kind of more serious, but this is kind of more serious. I've heard some people, like, call it, like, a horror movie, kind of, because it's, like, I get that. I rewatched it the other day. I was like, okay, that is kind of weird, but yeah. And then finally, in 1999, yeah, I was also surprised that Toy Story 2 was the best movie in 1999. It was I actually didn't understand. Like, I don't even know. Like, I don't even, yeah, it's but it's Toy Story 2. I plan on talking about this movie soon, so yeah, I even have it on VHS. Fun fact: when I bought Toy Story on VHS, I should have checked the box because inside Toy Story 1 clamshell was Toy Story 2. Yeah. That's so... I would have still gotten it anyway, because Toy Story 2 is still very good. But it's just... Like, I wanted Toy Story, and I got Toy Story 2, so... But okay. Best movies in the 90s, right here.